Hello everyone, welcome back to Simple Signals, the second stream, second stream of today, and the second ever stream of Simple Signals. I'm glad you're all here. It's been an interesting day today, to say the least. There's been a lot of things going on, especially mainly with Bitcoin, which in turn has affected pretty much everything in the market. I did want to open up CoinMarketCap at the start of the stream, just so we could see what's been going on. Everything's up. Yeah, when I'm opening CoinMarketCap, everything is green. Yeah. It's been. I mean, I saw some. So there's been a bunch of news. It's right there right now. Google allows Bitcoin ETF ads. I'm sure that's probably not the singular reason why Bitcoin's gone up, but obviously it just adds to the huge burning fire of this pumping train which Bitcoin is currently going through right now. But yes, so welcome back to Simple Signals. I need to preface some things before we go in. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. There's a bunch of links in the description, especially Fairdesk. Do go check that out if you're not signed up already. Obviously, I assume quite a few, pretty much most of you already signed up already. But if not, do go check the description. While you're down there, there's also the Telegram link. If you're not in there already, do go check that out. We do post screenshots. I've been posting screenshots throughout the day of longs I'm taking, some charts I've drawn. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm very excited. Actually, no, that's not it. I've also got to preface. I'm very excited to get into this today. We do have a packed stream. We do have quite a bit of coins to go through. The majority of the coins we're going through. Let me turn that a bit. Majority of coins we're going through, we've already gone over in the last stream. I just wanted to update, the stream on how they've gone, depending on what I said from last stream. I do need to actually show the countdown. There we go. So we start the countdown top right. Obviously, it's not the most beautiful looking thing, but it functions pretty well. So, yes. So we can see CoinMarketCap 8%, 7 day. That doesn't really matter. 24 hour 2.77% for Bitcoin. It's all green. That's very important. It's very all good for Bitcoin. I do want to go check out one of them though. I'll probably see it if I do this. Yeah, it's just. Obviously, I think I'm in Python right now, but the process is obviously Bitcoin goes up, then everything else goes up, and the degree in which the prices go up, depending on the news about Bitcoin, obviously is dependent of it. Obviously, its market cap. So, for example, Pyth has been going up and down pretty much. I am in a long currently. I'll show the charts. I'll update all the charts. If I go to my notepad I have open, I'm going to go over Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, Python, Tia. The majority of them are going to be updates. I think they're all going to be updates, and after that I'll be looking at other coins depending on how much time we have, or if any of you want me to look at a specific coin, if in the chat, I'll look at that first. If not, it might be like Avalanche or something like that. I might just look at some coins like that. But yeah, everything is up. I just want to see if Thorchain. There is, it's a good day. If Thorchain, you know what? But people say, oh yeah, Bitcoin is the leading factor of the market. They always look for Bitcoin to see what's going on in the market. But for me, it's Thorchain. If Thorchain's going up, it's a good day. It's definitely a good day for crypto. Let me move that to the side. Good evening, Oracle. Good evening to you. I'm glad you could join us on the stream. I think I should stop wasting time. I think we should just get into the first chart. It's a bit messy. Things right. I don't have a lot of transitional movements between the browser windows. I just click it. It's there. It's just like exposed completely. But it is a bit of a messy chart. But don't worry, I'm going to be going through it. So I have drawn these. I drew this a bit earlier today. I did post it in the Telegram. This is Bitcoin. So obviously we still have this fair value gap down here, which I drew, I believe. I don't know if it was the stream before last stream or if it was last stream, but I made it look a bit nicer. But that is the current. That was the previous fair value gap. Looking here, 40,600 was lower end. I did say on Telegram. What I basically thought for Bitcoin was if we were to break below, 41.7, and we would probably come around to 40,600. Obviously, Jason, you were agreeing with me. It was pretty correct. I mean, let me move it down to the side. Yeah, I think if we were to break 41.7, obviously, we've pumped really heavily, so it's going to be, we've got a lot of bullish force behind us right now. We will be looking at, market cipher and whatnot and the lower time frames. But if we were to fall below 41.7, we'd probably come to around 40,600. But the fair value gap, it hasn't been entered yet, so it's still valid, and it is quite a big fair value gap. So leading off into the future, obviously on the lower end, which I don't really have a lot of bad news, or I'm not really bearish right now, because obviously normally with crypto, what I normally do, I always look at Bitcoin before I start trading, see what's going on. Is it bullish, bearish, is it having pump or not? And if it is, obviously I'll trade based on that. But obviously Bitcoin is pumping, as it is with everything in the market. So I don't really expect it to see 40,600 anytime soon, but it is there as quite a quite a big line, a thick, huge line in the sand. It's 40,600. I think if we were to come down, if we were to break below where we are right now, the numerous numbers. So obviously, you've got 42,000. Let me draw horizontal array here. So you've got about 42,000, wherever that is, about here. So you've got 42,000, you're going to have 41,000 and 45,600 because they're all kind of either it's an emotional number, a round number, or it's an actual, tangible thing like a fair value gap is. But we've got so many things keeping us up right now. 43 today, 54k tomorrow. Carve crypto. I don't know. I mean, this is the downside. This is what I was getting onto now. We've got the trifecta of terror going on in front of us right now. We've got 43,573, courtesy of our very own indicator, Simple Signals, or Simple Significance. This is Simple Signals. It's all the same. It's called the same theme. Simple Significance, which is our support and resistance auto drawing, bonanza. I will show some of the greatness it's been through on the Pyth chart because that was a bit. What was annoying with Pyth? I had it in long. I was posting in Telegram. I could probably show it here. I still had the long open, and we hit the exact point of the resistance, which was drawn by Simple Significance, which was great. But at the time, I was still editing my take profit, so it didn't actually get filled. So I'm going to have to wait for Pyth to come back up again. I don't think it's going to go down, But obviously we'll get onto it. I'm not going to distract. Actually, let me make sure I have the clock in the corner so I know how long I'm taking. But yes, on the upper end, so we've got 43.5 or 43.57 for Bitcoin. So this is getting quite close to there. Obviously, we're nearing the 2% mark, which we've seen a couple of times. We've kind of seen this price before over here. As we were kind of crabbing before we had some huge movement. We were at this price already, or we bounced off it anyway, which is 43,268. Which I'm not going to draw in, but it's nearing the 2% mark of our brilliant indicator we have right in front of us, which if you do want to go check out, it is in the Telegram. Let me open up the chat. There we go. But obviously we've got that resistance point, which we're nearing a meeting point at. So we're not quite there yet. Obviously we have retracted a bit, but considering how much we've moved, it makes sense that we're going to retract just a slight bit. But market cipher is pretty positive, and this is on the 4 hour as well because this is on the 4 hour, which means it's kind of a if you're going to be looking at the lower time frames or not, it kind of has a general effect on the market. Because obviously I could go look at the day of the week, but the 4 hours kind of a faster updating, more general sentiment for the market for Bitcoin in this case. So 4 hours is a pretty good time, and what it's telling us is our momentum is still positive. However, we are still technically quite overbought. Which makes sense. We had this huge, movement in terms of Bitcoin. This 3% movement. This is pretty huge. Obviously, we had some other things, but for today, it's been pretty huge. But we also have our money flow coming in and in the positive, and we have our VWAP going upwards and positive. So there's there's so much telling us this is very good. So I see, and this is very good in terms, and this is why I'm leaving my Pyth open. And if you do have any longs, you might want to leave it open for a bit longer. Obviously. Do your own research, not financial advice. But seeing as though Bitcoin, it does have things telling us it should be going. Obviously, the market cipher telling us which direction it's going to go, and the support and resistance and fair value gaps telling us, where it's going to go to. But we do have, the indicator, which is for telling us which way it's going to go, telling us that pretty much everything's positive and pretty much everything is bullish, which is a good sign. So that is, that's good news. We should still be pretty bullish on Bitcoin, regardless of if we've just gone up a bunch already. We haven't switched to the downside yet, so we should see some movement continuously for Bitcoin upwards. We could possibly break this resistance point. I'm not sure, but again, like I was saying, even if we do, we still have 44.2 to 40. Well, what was very convenient, if Bitcoin goes. So does everything else. Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, this is why I was investing in Pyth, and I was saying, obviously, if you're not in Telegram, I was saying in the Telegram, when Bitcoin's going up, for example, I was looking at Pyth at the same time, because Pyth, when I did it quite a while ago in my videos, Bitcoin was going up and Pyth was moving, erratically, but in the same direction Bitcoin was going. So Pyth kind of has the same movement. Or this is Pyth's. Obviously, other meme coins might have the same effect, but in Pyth's case, its movement was pretty much identical to Bitcoin, but it had a bit more of a, in terms of its multiplication was a bit higher, so you could get more out of it. So obviously it was more volatile, but it still moved the same as Bitcoin. So I'd go I did, for example, today, I did TR on Bitcoin, saw it was bullish, went over to Python longed. Unfortunately missed the actual take profit, but we're still in profit, so don't care. But yeah, so we should be going up. We do have things keeping us, below. I am going to be showing. I'm quite excited to go onto the Ethereum chart, which is pretty much now. Obviously, we've spent our good 10 minutes on Bitcoin. But if we wick up into this fair value gap, we could see ourselves go down. And what I thought was very interesting was the start of the fair value gap entry is pretty much exactly at 44,000. So even if I wasn't to draw a fair value gap, I would probably draw a line at 44,000 and go, this is a really considerable price point, because obviously it's a round number. So the fact that it's 44,000 pretty much exactly, and it's a fair value gap, I don't think we're going to reach 54,000. Obviously, I know it's probably a joke question, but I don't know if there's actually. I mean, considering today, I've seen people talk about when. Obviously, if you don't know about when, go check our channel out. We've got some videos there. I've seen some people talk about when, saying it's going to go to $1, which is absolutely crazy. I don't think it's ever going to reach $1 in this current situation. But we're just waiting for the burn situation to come into effect, as the market valuation is the same, yet we have less tokens. So naturally, by normal economics, the price should be going up. I don't think it's going to go as high as $1, but that's that guy's opinion, so fair enough to him. But with Bitcoin, we have 44,000 price points, and we have a fair value gap entrance at 44,000. So if we do break this resistance point, I don't think we're going to be keeping it for that long. However, resistance turns to support, support turns to resistance. So if we do reach 44,000, we could see a bit of a crab around here between 43.5 and 44, which would be a bit annoying to invest into, but that's what I kind of see happening. So I'm going to draw my path. My new, let me move this line out of the way. I need this fat green line out of the way. But my new ending to a chart is drawing the path how I see it's going. So I kind of think something like this is going to happen. We're going to enter just about 44,000 if we do break this resistance point, that is. And then probably, do something along. I don't know how long this will last for, because I can't tell the future, but something along that line of a really small crab area for Bitcoin, which would also crab the market. But it could just ignore this fair value gap. It's not 100%. We could also bounce, down this resistance point if we don't keep this bullish trend. But like I was saying, we do have a lot of things telling us we should continue to be bullish for Bitcoin. But if we do not, break this resistance point, probably retract towards 42,000. Or 42,000. We also have 43,000 as a point of support as well, so do bear that in mind. But if we were to actually have a really bad move, we'd probably come towards 42, especially with our EMA, 21-day EMA, very important. I've added that back onto the chart, which looks like even if we do move quite erratically, it could show some signs of kind of rounding out at the 42 mark, which would keep us up. It's kind of a bit messy, but that's what I can't see Bitcoin doing. So. So even if we do go up, we'll probably only really break the resistance point and then bounce down below this 44,000 price point. And that's kind of it for Bitcoin. Yeah, so let's move on to Ethereum. And do remember, after I do my TA or do my update on all these coins we did in the last stream, if you want any coins looking at in specific right now, today, live, then please do put it in the comments because I will be looking at other coins. If there's no comments, I will be looking at other coins in my roster of things I can look at. But if you do have something in specific, then I'll look at that instead. But with Bitcoin or Ethereum, this was very interesting, and I believe I drew this live last stream on Friday. So this is beautiful. When I went onto the chart like about 15 minutes before the stream, I was just so happy to see this. That the fair value gap was completely accurate with the Ethereum price. It was very nice to see because obviously, as I've said probably in other times when I've done live trading or in videos, when I've rambled on about fair value gaps, is that we have the two scenarios of it being we crab within the fair value gap or we enter it, and this is how it normally is supposed to happen. We enter it and then immediately break out above it if it is valid, that is. So as you can see, we entered it. If I go into the 1 hour, it's a bit more accurate. We entered it and completely just rocked it up, which was such a nice thing to see. Obviously, this is a 4 hour, so this area is going to be a bit different. But even if you did draw the fair value gap on the 1 hour, it would still be a decently high area here, where we kind of entered it twice. So we entered this 1 hour. Interesting to look at that the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Obviously, they're very similar in terms of their candle action because they're not very far apart. But we did have two areas for the fair value gap. One was a bit bigger than the other. We kind of entered it right here and then bounced up and came to the resistance point. And obviously on the 4 hour, which is here, which isn't as accurate, we still entered it, but here was more of a considerable point of entry. Obviously, I know other factors like Bitcoin going up, would have caused, Ethereum and the whole market to come up, which, makes sense. But this was kind of the same time, but, fair value gap or not, we still entered it, and we still, Bitcoin news or not, we still entered the fair value gap and absolutely, smashed up, breaking this support resistance point. Obviously, we did break it over here, but this was kind of a test, and we failed it. But interestingly, the white line which I drew, I don't know. I drew this on Friday. The bullish breaker block, aka an order block, which is broken by a high point of liquidity and then kept above, did play out, or it was accurate. As in, we did see a huge, spike above the order block, which then we hovered above and then continued to use it, and we are still kind of continuing to use it. Obviously, we broke down a bit, which was the fair value gap, which kind of attracted the Ethereum price towards this point, this price point at 22.3. Oh, I do remember actually that the prices on the side are a bit small. I remember someone saying, so I don't want to go too far in. Also, top left is going to be a bit dodgy now. Actually, I could probably zoom. I want to try and keep the price accurate. Hopefully you can still see that, I'm not too sure. But I will still be reading out the prices. So at 22.32, we had this, fair value gap, which we did enter. So that was very good to look at. And it actually played out, which was, pretty good. And again, like I was saying, the white line did play pretty accurately, obviously ignoring this area. But obviously, it was a test above the resistance point, which then we failed. But this huge spike upwards of the price, we should hold this, now support point, especially since though our EMA is starting to come up towards it as well, which is a bit more confidence. So where's the next point in terms of resistance? Well, we've got 24.15 as our next point. So we are, if we do keep this support point, we will be within this range here. This, how many percentage is this? This is about, so this, 5.5% roughly range. We're obviously on the lower end of it, but seeing as though Bitcoin does look pretty bullish continuously, we could probably continue to go up this range until we fall. We could see some sort of some issues at 23.50. I don't think there's really, there's kind of there's a fair value gap kind of here, which we've already entered, and we already entered over here. So what probably happened? Okay, this makes more sense actually. So as I was saying, this was a test of the resistance level, which I didn't know until right now. So it was we actually entered a fair value gap. It wasn't a test of resistance, or it was a test of resistance, but we broke above, entered this fair value gap, came below, which then invalidates this fair value gap as it has been fulfilled, and we should now be able to continue above this fair value gap. So we had this old fair value gap which hadn't been interacted with. We then entered it and fell below, and now we should be able to continuously go above, like I was saying, above the 23,000 mark, and continue to go up. So quite interesting that all these fair value gaps kind of happen within the these emotional numbers at 23,000, this, that, and the other. ETH's going to struggle at 25,000. Let me have a look. 25,000. Yeah, obviously it is it is an emotional number. So if I draw a line there, we have seen some sort of a point like that before, bouncing here. It is also nearing 23,000 to 25,000 is a war. Yeah, so we do have a couple resistance points here. We obviously will have some parts within. So we've obviously got this line which we had. We entered it, which is, so it must have been some sort of liquidity area. You can't really consider it a fair value gap as such, although it is a very small area here. So if I zoom in, this is kind of a stretch. But interestingly enough, technically it is a fair value gap, a tiny one. We entered it and immediately fell all the way below it, at 23.50. The ETF, no, I don't think so either. In terms of the ETF, especially. I agree. I do think 23,000 to 25,000 is going to be a bit of an issue for Ethereum. However, I do think we do have this open space here, and this fair value gap is invalidated. And I'm looking over it. We kind of have something here. Again, as I was saying, we have this fair value, this line basically, which we did touch 23rd January. We did touch it and immediately bounced off it. So this is also invalidated, so that shouldn't be any issue. So looking at it, within this range I was talking about, this 5.5% range, we shouldn't really see much issue going upwards. Obviously, if Bitcoin or some news happens, we should see some resistance or falling below. So there's this 22.70 to 24.15. again, I don't think there's much issue there in terms of what I can see from the price. Obviously, news could come out, or Bitcoin could be really bearish, or something like that could happen. But again, like you're saying, with 25,000, obviously there's more resistance points as we go up towards 25,000. And over here, we do have, for example, this area, which we didn't enter. So we do have this slight... I can't grab it, hold on. Come on, hold on. God damn it. There we go. So we do have this area, which we haven't entered. So it hasn't been fulfilled yet, at about 2450. So as you're saying, so I think 24,000, 25,000 will see some issue, because we've got 2450 in resistance. We've got this fair value gap, which we'll probably enter and bounce off of. 2482 is resistance as well. And obviously 2500 will also be a resistance point due to emotional. So I think this movement we have over here is still valid. We don't really have anything in terms of the price action stopping us in that regard. Looking at market cipher quickly, go to the 4 hour. We do have, it's kind of messy. We do have our VWAP heavily going up, obviously, as it was going up more rapidly due to its difference. Obviously, Bitcoin being this big fat brute, and things slimming down, especially with altcoins, it's very slim, can move very, very rapidly. We do have our momentum going upwards, which is a good sign. That is a bullish sign. We've got VWAP going up heavily. So, and the kind of order operation of market cipher is VWAP is a leading indication for the momentum, and momentum is leading for the money flow. So, as you see, VWAP, you can see this on the lower time frames more than on the 4 hour, but as VWAP is going up, momentum will be going up, and you can see the money flow is starting to round out now. So they kind of each lag off each other. Obviously they don't read off each other, but they lag off each other. So, but as you can see, money flow is starting to go up towards the positive, which is the bullish. We've got VWAP going up and is positive, which is bullish, and we've got momentum going up, which is also bullish. So we've got everything kind of pointing upwards for Ethereum. So I do think going up towards, obviously, well, we do actually, yeah, this is the line I drew. Okay, well, actually, I got rid of the line, but I did draw the line. But on the 4 hour, it is telling us, I should probably add the line back, actually. This line here, as I was saying, is 23.49, because we bounced off it. Obviously, this was a fair value gap, or fair value area. It's not really a gap, per se. But, the line I drew on the 1 hour is within this range of the resistance. So actually, this is actually a considerable line. So I retract the statement that we should go from this point, which we are right now, all the way up to 24.15 really easily. We do have this midpoint at about 23,000, 23,040 to also keep us down. So we've kind of got this sandwich layer. So we've got a range. We've got a general, not macro, but we've got this general range here, and then we've got this midpoint, which we have to kind of break between, which is kind of the equilibrium. So if I draw this isn't really anything related to what I'm drawing, but it's kind of still the same situation. So yeah, you can see that there's this sort of situation. So if you're in a discount, you look for longs, premium, you look for shorts, but that doesn't really matter. I'm not going to look at it anymore. We should move on to the next thing, which is Sol. I'll be a bit faster with Solana, because it was a sad day for Solana, for me anyway, because we missed, I think I had it on a short and a take profit, we missed the entry to the fair value gap by absolutely nothing. It was very close to there. Obviously, well, considering for Solana, it was a decent distance, but we were very close to entering here and about to go. I think, obviously, it probably forerun, and, it just continued to go up, which was very unfortunate, and it was missed, which is sad. But, we still kind of followed the same action. It was just a bit higher than what I said it was. So instead of entering the fair value gap and going upwards, it hovered really close towards the fair value gap, and then followed the same movement as I was saying. But we broke the 98, which we had over here in some of the situations. We broke 100 as well, and we're slightly hovering above it now, so that is good. Again, we do have resistance at 103.5, which you can see. We bounced off here, we hovered over here. Sad that gained 8%. Yeah, it was sad. So obviously, I got stopped out eventually. So I didn't really lose too much, thankfully. But obviously, I am recouping it slowly. Taking advantage of this bullish movement. Said that gained 8%. Yeah, I mean, I was right, but I missed it by nothing because I didn't have. It was too tight enough. But I was right. I did say we were going to move upwards, come towards this fair value gap, and then move upwards again. Unfortunately, we just didn't touch the fair value gap. But yeah, what's best altcoin to buy now? A great question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so many options. I mean, when's kind of. I mean, Jupiter. That you could try and front run the Jupiter thing with the airdrop, but obviously that'll be a quick sell off. But that'll be rising closer and closer towards the airdrop. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. I don't advise any of this. Obviously, there's when it's had its burn off, but it hasn't actually come into full effect. So if I quickly go to Bird Eye, obviously I'm kind of derailing right now, but I'm not looking at Solana too long. Don't worry. So I'll actually keep up. Go to when quickly. I don't really think it's actually taken into effect. We're kind of hovering, but considering how much value is being, or how much tokens are being sold off, considering its current market value, it should actually rise up pretty high. I'm not promising 300 million X, whatever this, that, the other. Kishan, you're here. Hello. You've missed some of the covering of the TA. I had to flex my amazing fair value gap on Ethereum, but it doesn't matter right now. But when there is still movement left to be had with when, but obviously you're gonna have to do your own research. I can't quickly just go say, oh yeah, buy when, because I haven't really shown enough data to suggest that you should go buy it. Always do your own research. Do go try look for it for yourself. But when it hasn't had its full movement yet, considering how much has been burnt, but it should get there. Obviously I don't know if it's gonna be moving this much. But considering how much has been burnt in comparison to its market valuation, the math does add up for it to reach towards 0.0006. But I'm not getting into that. That's not what is in this show right now. So yeah, but go also. Yeah, when is $88 at the moment? Yeah, I mean, there was a front run of the front run. So obviously everyone's been buying up until this point. The news came out that it's kind of been burnt. And then for some reason the price is going down now. It's kind of like the Bitcoin ETF stuff. It's supposed to be going up, but now people are selling. So maybe they're realizing everyone's selling, so that they're going to buy it less, and then it's going to take into effect. And considering it's burn off, when people actually realize, okay, it's been burnt off, let's go quickly. Yeah, free sell from it would be a godsend, absolutely. Hopefully free X. I mean, I did the math. I think it's like a 3.72x, considering how much was burnt in valuation, considering the current market. So I think that market cap was 112 million, and then what was being burnt was 32.5 million, and the math worked out about 3.7 x. Obviously, I reduced that to about 3 point something x, and it reached about 0.006. So if the supply retractment does take into effect it should reach that price in theory. But again, we'll see what happens. Late from shooting. What were you shooting at? That'd be interesting. I will recap. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. All the flex was that Ethereum, it hit the fair value gap and it was perfect. It perfectly moved. But you can look back at it on stream later after the stream ends if you want. But in terms of Solana, where is it going to go from the current situation it's in right now? Well, I would love to say it would stay $100, and I hope it does. Again, we do have. Similar with, Bitcoin was very bullish. Every single thing was pointing upwards. Ethereum, again, similar situation. Solana, if we look at 4 hour, we're very heavily overbought. We're kind of, hovering around above this area. So, we're destined to fall. However, our money flow is coming in pretty rapidly. Our VOP is positive, however, it is going down. So there's kind of mixed emotions. In terms of market cipher or what that's telling us. So, I mean, money flow is, very... as I say on when I do TA on the short time frames and the large time frames, as the prices move, or as the time frames move, the money flow starts to matter less and less due to how laggy it is, and VWAP matters more and more. But in this case, we're on the 4 hour, money matters more than anything else. So the money flow is coming in very rapidly, so that is a good sign. But we do have the other two kind of factors within market cipher kind of telling us it's kind of time to come down now. But like I said, we shouldn't really come down to $100, hopefully, but there's not really much like data-based support there. But there's a lot of price action, as we can see by these candles, confirming above and below, kind of, pinpoint at $100. But if I go up, obviously, this is where the issue lies. I closed $100. Perfect. I mean, I'm glad you closed it because $103 or 102. Obviously, you've got this 2% padding for the support and resistance. Obviously, supplied to us by the great one and only Simple Significance, which is our indicator. If you do want to go get that, it is in Telegram. But we can see that about $102 to $103 roughly, we have this resistance point, which you know, considering the situation of market cipher, we could probably not break, because you know, so we can only really go up so much, but we do have a lot of room to move down. Obviously our EMA will keep us up as well, kind of a little like trampoline, you know, whether it be made out of actual proper, you know, bouncy trampoline or, you know, paper. We could just fall straight below it. For, you know, the 4 hour moving average does matter quite a lot. Obviously on the short time frames we can go above and below the moving average quite quite rapidly, but on the 4 hour we don't really tend to do that. It only the only thing really moving us above and below the EMA are really big movements in price. You know, as we can see, you know, by this huge green wick, we will keeping on bouncing below it, but being above this EMA line is still bullish because it will keep us up. So we can I think we might only really reach $102, probably retract down below the $100 mark and kind of stay within this $94 to $100 range. Maybe going towards, can't remember, 98 was a support point as well, or resistance point at the time, which is now going to be support. So we've got a lot of things. We've got $100, 98, and eventually, you know, 95, you know, trailing, keeping us up. But we've also got this point keeping us down. But if we were to break it, you know, we've got a high level of $126. So we also saw $114 as something considerable as well. But you know, we do have some issue, and what I can also see is a fair value gap. Obviously, this is quite a far away fair value gap for Solana, which we haven't entered. So even if we were to break above this 103 line, which I don't think we will, we'd see something at $111. But ignore that. I don't really think we're going to see that, you know, much soon, because I don't think so, you know, considering what we have, the money flow could easily start to turn downwards, and everything's like, oh my god, money is coming out. This is very bad. I think we might bounce off 103. It's staying to 100 tomorrow, retest support and then up. Worst case scenario. Yeah, I mean, I'd pretty much agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I think we would hit 102 roughly. I think we'll test 100. Whether we keep it or not is a different story. Obviously, you know, it is quite a strong. You know, $100 is pretty considerable. But we have, you know, gone up and, you know, gone above and below it. But considering the fact, like over here, for example. Obviously, depending on how bearish or bullish the news was, you know, back in, you know, 6th of January, whatever, when we did break above it, we didn't really stay for too long. So I wouldn't be surprised if we moved something like this and kind of bounced and whatever, hovered a bit and then came below, either bouncing over here or over here, and then coming back up again. But obviously, again, if Bitcoin continues to absolutely, you know, rampage up, then, you know, we could still stay bullish. But as I said, and Kishan, you missed this, but we do have some fair value gaps and we do have some resistance for Bitcoin. So as much as we can go up, we don't really have a lot of room to continue. And even if we are bullish in terms of its signals, there are things suggesting to us that we won't really go up too high. And if we start to fall, you know, again, if Bitcoin starts to fall, things go, okay, crap, the bull run, not bull run, but this bull kind of trend has kind of slowed down now, and will start to reverse towards the bearish, and things will start to go down. Mike's at 102 for resistance. Here's what? I forgot his name. Mr. Chris, was it? I think you're an inside agent, okay? But you know, I mean, I don't know how hard it was for Mike to figure that out. But you know, if he was to use simple significance, it wouldn't be very hard at all. Like I don't really have to think about support and resistance or volume anymore, because it just gets done for me from this great indicator, which is free if you go to the Telegram. If you do TA often, I think this is a very useful indicator. But I think we should move on to the next coin. I was going to look at Pipe actually, because I think we did look at that, or we glanced at it, I think. But it's going to be a quick update. I'll look at Pipe and TIA really quickly, because we did, you know, get suggested to look at TIA. I'll probably do some more. I'll probably not really draw a lot for Pipe and draw some for TIA, and then maybe move on. But if anyone, again, I did say this earlier in the stream, if anyone has any coins you want me to look at, then, you know, do tell me. I also probably should actually put an investment in through Fairdesk, because obviously you've got to advertise it. I've got to show it, so I'll probably do something. But you know, glad we're still up for Pyth. We might start hovering a bit. Okay, I'll look at TIA. I'll look at TIA a bit more. Obviously, we've got about 20. How long do we have actually? Yeah, 27 minutes. I'll look at. I don't really intend to look at Pyth for too long. We can draw some TIA, and then we'll have time for like 1 or 2 more coins maybe. But let's have a look at Pyth. I think I drew my main stuff on this one actually. Obviously, it's going to be a bit messy. I think I did it on the 1 hour, so let's have a quick look. So yeah, this was unfortunate actually. I did have a long placed from about over here somewhere, and I was changing my take profit as we were moving for the 1 hour. And this, we literally touched this and it immediately fell. So, curse thy simple significance. It was correct, and we did bounce off it. But if I go to the 4 hour, have a look at what's going on. We are quite bullish. That is why I'm keeping this open. As much as we are retracting a bit, I am going to keep this open a bit because we do have, this movement upwards. Momentum is positive. VWAP is positive, money flow is positive, as pretty much with anything else is because of Bitcoin and how that's moved. Everything is kind of just moving in the same way, or is showing signs of moving the same way. We do have this trend line, which I found the 1 hour, which is also quite a bullish thing, and this fair value gap, which I don't actually know if we've entered. No, so we do have a fair value gap keeping us up. So, yeah, so that's kind of it. Again, I'm not really looking at Pyth. I do want to move on and actually look at, because what we did for last stream on tier, I kind of just quickly did it, suggested where it's going to go, what's going to happen. Didn't really happen like with Solana and everything, because everything started to pump. But I didn't really draw a proper chart, so I'm going to spend more time on tier. But with Pyth, what I'd advise is, obviously not a financial advice, but what I'd do if I didn't actually have an investment in and would wait, would be probably, I don't know how far it's going to retract, but I think it's going to retract a decent amount towards 39.22. Again, it'll probably meet over here where the trend line is. It'll probably meet over here where the trend line is and this fair value gap. Enter it, continue to go up again. So, do watch out for Pyth. Do make sure, because it does move quite nastily. It is quite rapid. So if you want to do something which is low leverage, because obviously if you're trading Bitcoin, you want to do like a crazy leverage because of how slow it moves. Obviously, I know everything is relative, but with Pyth you can do a lower leverage, which gives you a wider stop loss, or which will stop. Obviously, risk management. I'm not really, I do advocate for make sure you always put your stop losses. I'm not the best at, obviously got to practice what you preach. I'm always not the best at that because sometimes I don't really put stop losses because I'm pretty confident, but. It will. This, for example, I think mine one was all the way down here somewhere, which we're never going to see, or not never going to see, but we won't going to really see anytime soon for Pyth anyway. So it does give you a wide, stop loss or liquidation point. Sorry. So I do like trading Pyth, especially doing TA on Bitcoin and then going to Pyth and trading on there. But that's what I'll do if I was to look at Pyth. Keep your eye on that. But I think we should move on to. Actually drawing a proper chart for tier this time. I didn't really draw anything, to be fair. I kind of just drew this really big mess. I think I was on the 4 actually. We didn't actually, again, similar with Solana, we had this tiny difference between, bouncing near between the fair value gap and not, which was sad. I don't really think, on the 1 hour, for example, we didn't really have any different there. It was kind of the same situation. The white line, again, like I said, I drew the same thing for Solana basically. At the time, I was saying Solana and Tia both have the same movement. Unfortunately, they did move the same, but they didn't move how I said they would, because I thought it would come down a bit more than they did and actually enter the fair value gap properly. But unfortunately, they didn't quite do that. As much as the red line was me, and the blue line was Mike. We've been saying I'm going to delete them for now because we're kind of doing the same thing. We kind of bounced here, there. But what do I think is going to happen with Tia? Well, I can't. I feel like a stop record. I'm just saying the same thing but different ways for different coins. We are on the low, similar with how Ethereum was. We are on the lower end of this range here. This 16% range is pretty crazy. However, with Market Cipher, things are a bit different actually. So you might notice. If I get the pen out, there we go. We're starting to round out on our money flow. Sorry, our VWAP is really close to the 0 line and is closing in on crossing it to become bearish, and we are heavily overbought near this white dotted 60 line on Market Cipher. And when you get towards these points and you see like a momentum change, it's normally more substantial. So for example, over here we saw this green line which was nowhere near the white dotted line, and it didn't actually really do much. But what I'm showing is we're very close to the white dotted line with these, and we are very overbought. So as soon as that turns red and we start to go down, everything will be bearish for TIA. So as much as I'd want to say we should go up to 20 easy. Oh yeah, we're not really going to see much resistance. That's a pretty interesting price point. We've got some bounces off here. Actually, I might draw this as a block. If I get the square, there it is. So we do have some resistance here. Hold on, let me draw this properly. There we go. So yeah, like I was saying, we don't really have, much. I don't really have much confidence in it going up, really, due to the fact that there's nothing really. I'm not really seeing much to tell us that it's going to go up. But it's kind of the reverse situation where, as I was saying, that we're really bullish. However, we have resistance. We're really close to resistance points, and if we even break the resistance point, we have a fair value gap or something along those lines, which will keep us down. With TIA, it's kind of, I don't see much being bullish. We're probably going to fall. However, we've got our EMA very close to the price point we're at now, which is actually meeting directly at the 2% of the support point, and we're very close to a support point. So even though we might be bearish, we're not really going to fall too much. So I don't really see us really going down too much. We might hover a bit. We might bounce off this order block area, hopefully switch it, and then bounce off it, and then go towards the $20 mark. But TIA, I don't really see it going, too stratospheric anytime soon. I don't really see it, moving too crazy upwards. That is. So I don't really think it's kind of just going to be. Let me get the pen out. Something along these lines. It's not really going to move too much. Hopefully, doing a situation where we break it. Turns to a bullish breaker block, bouncing back into it, and then going towards the 20 range, around there, and bouncing off this. I mean, this was, we've only made it once. It's been a really high price point, so we'll probably bounce off it, and we're not going to go too much down. Big Fergan, you're going to blow. I'm passionate, okay? I want to get all the information out, okay? I want you to absorb all this as fast as you can, because if something really important was about to happen, I'd want to get the information out there so you can do something. But yeah, no, I'm not running out of breath. I speak fast anyway. I naturally speak fast, so I can manage it, thankfully. Yeah, like I was saying, there's not really much showing anywhere. I don't really think it's going to go up too much. It's not. You can literally see the support point right there. I don't think it'll go down too much. Even if we were to break this, we do have this fair value gap, which we didn't quite meet at. Similar with Solana, like I said, so it's not really fulfilled as it should have. So we do have this, roughly $16 mark. Where we're going to fall to if we were to fall. We're going to fall to it and then probably bounce up it above it again. So we've got so many things kind of keeping us in this like sandwich. So I don't really think TIA is going to move too crazy anytime soon. So it might not be the moon long 20x, triple your money situation which you'd hope for. But yeah, that's kind of my assessment for TIA. We've got, how long do we have left? We've got about 19 minutes left. So we have time for about a coin, another coin and a bit. Move drift trend, yeah. Again, like I said, it is still, Bitcoin is still kind of the leading factor. If Bitcoin's going up, other things are going to be going up. I don't think it's going to, crash. I think we're slowly going to see a steady going upwards, but it's showing signs of printing out a red dot and coming down. Like I said, with VWAP and the money flow, we're going down. So even though things are being bullish, it's telling me that it's going to be going down. So it's a rough situation. I don't think TIA is going to be going up anytime soon, or going up crazily anytime soon. It might slowly start to step up, take some like granny steps or anything, but I don't think it's going to move too crazy, especially with this order block. If we can't reverse this order block to a breaker block, we're not going to see much too crazy. But yeah, someone said when is when going? Well, I did show it earlier. This is where I hope for it to go. Obviously, this is completely, what do you call it? Wait, why is there 2 lines? Is this the wrong when or something? No, it's not. I don't know why there's only 2 lines. I don't know where the price is. Is it glitched? Or I'm on the wrong thing. Let me try search for it again. No, this is when. No, this is when. I don't know where the actual price action is. Is this the right thing? This is the right thing, right? No. Yes. No, yes, this is it. Or is it? I don't know what's going on, I'm not gonna lie. But this is where I drew my line, so it has to be. I don't know what's going on with the chart. Maybe it's glitched. Rough market in general for trades this week. Yeah, it's been very hard. It has been very hard. Obviously, this zoom in. No, I have, but look. Even on the 50-minute, I don't know what's going on. This is verified. So this is the official one. I think it's just glitched. Maybe Control F5. Maybe this might change it. There we go. I was so confused. There we go. So here's when. There we go. Perfect. So no, you're wrong. Okay, obviously there's time period. It's not. No, you're wrong. Okay, I had to refresh, and that's right. Okay, it's not that I had to zoom in. Rough market for trader this week. Yes, it has been. I said this I think I said it. Might have said it last live stream. Said it in some streams, with Mike when we were in the office, and I have said in some of my TA videos. With this situation, with how Bitcoin's moving, everything, there's a lot of external factors. I think I've said this on stream probably. There's a lot of external, not a lot, but there's a big external factors kind of keeping us moving differently. So it is very hard to kind of go based off the charts when the charts aren't actually telling us, what's happening in the news, for example. So, like you're saying, it is very hard. You know what? That's what I need. I don't need to breathe too much. I need a drink. It's hard. You might not think it's hard to speak for 45 minutes without relubricating your throat. But yeah, it's very hard, especially considering the ETF news, wherever it may be, or the sell-offs, wherever it is. I'm not getting into it. It's hard to draw something when it has no correlation to what's going on externally. So, if it was a ceteris paribus situation and everything was to be normal, then drawing charts would be perfectly fine. But thankfully, it's been, with this Bitcoin movement, it's been very easy to read Bitcoin and in turn read everything else and keep it going and keep it moving. I have some when. Yeah, I think quite a lot of people have a lot of when, but thankfully quite a lot of people didn't actually claim theirs. But obviously, if you're following Crypto House, obviously you would have seen it. But yeah, I mean, so this is my multiplication. So this is one of those situations where I can't really draw. Oh look, we've got a bull flag. We're going to go to this price. You can't really do that. When will I be famous? Whereas, nice. Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was waiting. Yeah, I was just about to say, you can feel the dadness in the joke as I was reading it. Obviously, this is one of those situations. AMC, sure, I'll have a look at AMC in a minute. Is that on TradingView or is that only on Bird Eye or whatever? Because if it's on Bird Eye, that's going to be an unfortunate situation. But, again, it's not like I can... it's not like I can just go, oh, look, we've got this flag here. Oh my God, we've got a flag and we're going to go up to this price. But I can't do that. It's not really, I probably can, but it's not substantial. I've made the whole thing lag. Okay, there we go. And I don't want to do that, considering the fact that we've literally had this huge burn off, which literally there's no indicator on TradingView or on the charts which will tell us we've had this huge burn off. So there's no point. So what I can only really go off is mathematically how much is being burned in comparison to the total market valuation currently. What multiplication is that? And if I multiply the price, how much will that change? So my multiplications, obviously the price has changed. I think at the time I did this multiplication, it was about 0.00016. I think somewhere along those lines. So obviously it may differ, but my multiplication, it was about a 3.7 multiplication difference between the total market value, value and the burn off of what hasn't been claimed. It left me roughly about 0.0006, which is quite a big movement. Some people are saying $1, some people say 10 cents. They are insane. They need to be admitted somewhere. I don't know where they need to be admitted, but another thing they need to admit is to themselves that it's never going to go to 10. I don't think it's ever going to go to 10 cents. That is absolutely ludicrous. 10 cent is just like, what? How could it ever go to 10? Like, what? I don't think it's ever going to reach $1. What? No, it's not going to reach $1. Like, it's just like, maybe, you know what? I don't want my words. It's going to be very crazy soon. But, it's kind of a meme coin, but it's not, because it's like a fractionalized ownage in a token form of a crap poem at that as well. There's not really much there. It's not like owning a fraction of the Mona Lisa. It's not really that important. It's just some crap poem, which is a PNG. So it doesn't really matter. So I don't think it's going to go to $1. I don't think it's that important, especially since there's a 728 trillion total supply, which insinuates to us, seems that everything else was burnt off. I think I read that right. No, billion, sorry. 728 billion. Are you trying to suggest to me that we're going to have 728 billion $1 wens? No, it's not going to happen. We're not going to reach that point of how much supply is left. It's not going to reach that valuation. It's just not worth it. It's just not, there's no reason for it to actually go up that high. But again, I think 0.006 is more plausible. That would bring, because I think everyone got the same amount of tokens, so that would bring the general valuation for when to about like $300 or something along those lines. But yeah, so that was when. That's why I think it's going to go. Hopefully it goes there. For everyone's sake, I hope it goes there. But I'm going to look for the comments. Someone said, can you look at AMC? I hope that's on. I don't think it's probably not going to be on TradingView, but if it's on TradingView, we're gonna have a really good time. Oh, it is here. Oh, is it AI Meta Club? Is this it? Oh, no, I hate these shots like this because you can't tell what's going on. All right, it's a bit messy. Is this it? Is it AI Meta Club? So GME went, okay, hello. X people are saying 0.002 tomorrow. Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's not really a crazy movement. That's just we're just going to be reaching the highest point. Is that not it? Am I going to have to go on here? Is this it? Oh, this is it, isn't it? Okay, I'll look at it. I don't know what it is, but I'll look at. I don't want to close it. Hold on. Okay, so I don't really have market cipher or anything really with me to hold my hand towards this. But what I can do is go off price action, and yeah, that's basically it. Price action. Where's the box? There it is. So I can see something here. I don't know why it keeps on making it purple. I'm down, so I need to know. Okay, I don't know how much you're down by, but hopefully I can give you good news. But so this is looking like an area of unless there was just no price action within the currency. This is 15 minute. I should probably do let's just see how small the graph is on 4 hours. Yeah, that's pretty difficult to draw anything on. So I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna have to do 15 minutes. Went from 2k to 1k. That's rough. Let me have a look then. So there's this area. I'm seeing for the price, which seemed like a decent area of of nothing really going on in terms of price. We reached that price, you sell. Okay, cool, interesting. So we've got this lowest point here, which is this sell side area. Let me make this white. And obviously this was the buy side, but it is within this order block area roughly. So anyway, yeah. So we've got this kind of area, this general area of a crazy area at that as well. So this seems like a pretty crazy currency. I'm trying to see if there's anything like a gap or anything I can recognize in the price action to suggest, which hasn't either been fulfilled already or anything like that. So we've got kind of up here, which we haven't really entered. I'm not seeing any value gaps, and then we've got over here previously, which isn't going to go through. So we don't have any fair value gaps to read off. So we can only really go off support and resistance, genuinely. So and I can kind of see this was the lowest point we saw in the price, but we also have this equally high candles, which suggests to us that it's kind of a block of orders. An order block, I don't know why I said it like that. So if I draw that along, there we go. We'll delete that. So we've kind of got, so we kind of have a rough area of where the price may be playing in. Obviously, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this fully diluted. I don't know how much has been locked. So there's not total value locked. So there's not. So I believe most of the tokens have been released into the market, I suppose. So I believe, is this the current? So it's 887,000. So this is really low, aka it's going to move pretty crazy. Obviously, it makes sense it's going to move pretty crazy, seeing as though the range, which I'm slightly looking in, is 128%, which is pretty crazy. So, and this is 15 minutes as well, so it's moving pretty rapid. Yeah, very low. So whatever I really draw, it could easily break it, seeing as though it's not going to really move naturally. But yeah, so if you should buy or sell, well, I mean, we're on the lower end of this range. So what I can kind of see happening, obviously this is for a normal token with a not so low market cap, aka not so low or not so high easy manipulation of the price. So it's kind of done this. I see it kind of doing this again, maybe reaching this point again. I don't really know if this is resistance, so we could either see it only reach as high as we came to, or going higher again towards this resistance point. Let me make these white so it's easier and more thematic. So this is what could happen with this token. So we kind of had this general movement of, okay, we bounced off this area, and then we bounced off here. No, we bounced off it again, so that is good confirmation that is a decent support point. Bounced off it, and then we stopped around here. I mean, there's only really two areas here. So it could be a mid resistance point. We do see this quite commonly with a lot of things under the concept of premiums and discounts. So I can't really design it too well. So let me hide it. Let me get a 0.5 line. There we go. Hold on. Is it grey? Okay, it's grey. It's anyway. It's like. Hold on. Let me click on. There we go. Perfect. So we've kind of got this area. So this is another concept which people kind of look at is when we're in the discount area. So we have this. So we have an equilibrium point. So you kind of get your swing. So your swing is this low area where your support is, and then your higher where your kind of resistance point is. And you have this situation of a premium and a discount and an equilibrium point. So it seems like the point and the equilibrium point can be considered not really a point of resistance or support, but it is quite commonly a point where we see some price kind of float at. So, but when you're in the discount area, you look for more longs than shorts, and if you're in the premium, you look for more shorts than longs. Again, as I already prefaced, the total market cap in terms of the valuation, per in the whole market is very low, so movement could be pretty erratic and not really follow this structure. However, what I'm seeing is a downwards movement towards this area of like 15, and then a movement back upwards to at least 25, maybe the midpoint of this equilibrium at 26. It could possibly move to 36 within the whole range, but I think considering how rapidly this is probably able to move, it'd probably be a safer bet that if we were to go back up, it would meet the equilibrium and bounce off it. Because it seems as though it moves so, if it moves 70%, 67% is pretty good in my opinion. So I'd rather take 67% and risk and be more secure than have a possibility of 122%, which is brilliant. But it's more risky because of how easily it could just be a bunch of people could sell off and it can immediately come down and break this support point, for example. So this is what I kind of see happening for AMC. It could bounce off here, go up. Not financial advice. If I had market cipher, I could tell you in more detail. There's no fair value gaps and nothing like that. I can only really go off like this. That's all I really have in terms of that. So I've got about 5 minutes left. I don't have any other coins. I mean, I can't really look too in detail with one coin because I normally like to have about 10 minutes to look at a coin. Unless anyone wants me to quickly look at anything else. If not, we can kind of, I can maybe go glance quickly at the other coins I already covered. Obviously, I know Kishan, you weren't here, so I can quickly show Ethereum. Probably go have a quick look at Bitcoin again, see how that's going. Seeing as though we've basically talked for an hour since we talked about Bitcoin, so it might have moved a bit differently. But I'll do that in the meantime. But yeah, if anyone has any other coins you want me to quickly look at, then I will be more than happy to do so. Yeah, we're starting to slow down with Bitcoin. Obviously, we are still bullish, but again, in all the other situations we looked at, our momentum was quite high already, crossing the 60 line, which is normally when it starts to, cross to the downside and actually has some sort of effect, which is, bearish, sorry. Money flow is also looking like it's still going up, but it's starting to cross out. VWAP is starting to go, and like I said, I think it's VWAP trails the money flow trails behind momentum, which trails behind the VWAP. So the VWAP is kind of a fast indicator of it's not as accurate completely, especially on the longer time frames. It's not as accurate. You shouldn't just go based off the VWAP, but it's kind of a quick a quick indicator of, oh my god, what's going on? It could go down, it could go up, but it's quite rapid. So for example, we saw here it went up, it started to go like not normally. Obviously, I know it's based on the price, but it moves a bit more erratically and not as accurate. So for example, our VWAP was moving down as we were kind of still moving upwards and then slightly down. But again, like I said, it kind of trails. So we could see our VWAP start to go downwards towards the negative. So if our momentum and whatnot start to trail, which we could see because of the fact our momentum is so high, it could cross over the 60 line and be bearish. VWAP could go to the negative. Money flow might also start to follow that. We could see ourselves I could probably envision ourselves bounce off the 43.3 and then come down to 42. But as I was hoping for, we would break above and bounce off the 44 line. But we could see ourselves bounce off between 44.5 or 43.5 and 44 is probably where I see it kind of doing. It's like kind of within this little area, bouncing below. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to quickly update on that because of how Bitcoin is kind of still updating because we have a new candle. Because we had a new candle like 32 minutes ago. So I think because this was the current candle as I was looking at it, but it's now kind of retracted a bit. But we'll see. I'll give an update probably tomorrow. In Telegram, I'll probably screenshot the chart, see how it's going, see what I think's going on. Hopefully the PIFE continues to go up. Obviously, it's probably rounding out. I should probably get out and short and probably reach down towards where I entered and then continue to go up. Considering the fact that Bitcoin is also looking like it might start to go down pretty soon. So, you know, if you do have a long in something which is quite, you know, erratic, like a small cap coin or a meme coin, anything like that, you know, Bitcoin's always a great thing to look at as kind of a leading factor of how the market sentiment is. So, considering that Bitcoin might be going down some point soon, I might try to get out of this. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we've got 1:29 left. So, I mean, I don't have enough time to look at anything else. I've kind of looked at everything we can kind of look at. Or I've looked at everything I wanted to look at. So I don't really think there's much more to say. I'll probably just leave this on the screen. No trading. Yeah, no. I think I don't want to get into a long when everything's already gone up. I'm already in a trade, which I've shown here. I'd want to wait for a trend reversal where I can actually take, you know, full effect of a movement. Yeah, I could probably go quickly look at a different coin which moves a bit more erratically and try and find a trade, but I don't really want to do that. What are you doing for Fairdesk copy trading? Yeah, well, I'm waiting for people to enter it. I think there are some people who have entered it a bit. I am taking trades as I take on my futures, but I'm taking more trades. I'm taking trades that actually have more of a show of you know, of confidence. Obviously, a PIFE was quite a confident one. I do need to get, you know, obviously my prominence in copy trading through for external people, but, you know, internal people are aware of, you know, how I trade. And I know some of you are coming into, you know, the copy trading area. So I'm going to be trading within there with the trades I'm completely confident in. So I'm probably going to wait till tomorrow to start doing it because of Bitcoin's movement downwards, probably very soon. So when that moves down, I'll probably do a futures trade within there. Probably screenshot it for Telegram as a little advertisement, and I'll probably start doing the copy trade when I'm completely confident that Bitcoin's moving down, and so forth. Everything else will be moving down as well. What is that? Member area for thank you for being a member, Kishan. I don't actually know what that pop-up is. I think maybe it's just a thing to indicate. I'm not sure. Oh well, the time has gone up there. Let me hide that quickly. I think well, that's pretty much it. My time is over. I've displayed all my information as much as I can. I've spewed out as much positivity or as much positive information as I could about things. Hopefully I wish you luck for AMC. Hopefully it plays like it does. If it does, then I'm simply the best. But you know, if it doesn't, then yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, again, go check the description out. Fairdesk links. If you're not in Telegram already, do the link's also down there. If you do want the indicator, it is also in TradingView. Yeah, I mean, I think Bitcoin has a tiny bit moving upwards before we start seeing down, as I've shown by here. But yeah, it depends on how bullish we continue to be. So I think that's pretty much it, though. By mistake, that's okay. You want to flaunt your membership, okay? It's you know, I think you should be proud of the fact you're a member of Crypto Warehouse, the best TA drawers, the best TA experts, and crypto experts on the whole of YouTube. Ignore everyone else. Everyone else is wrong. We're always right. And not financial advice. We don't give financial advice. We give opinions. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for joining on these Simple Signals. Hopefully I gave you some confidence in a trade you may have already been in, or some maybe I am the confluence for your next trade. So you know. But regardless, thank you for watching. Wi-Fi is dropping in a range about 2 to 3 minutes. Are you 3 minutes behind? I mean, we're basically ended the stream already, so it doesn't matter. Thank you for watching. I missed a lot. Just go. I'm about to end the stream, so just go if you really want to go watch the end. I haven't really done much in the past 5 minutes. The stream will end. Go back in the video and you can watch it. But other than, thank you all for joining, and I'll see you in the next stream. I'll do it on Wednesday, Wednesday evening, same time. I'm streaming. That's it. Goodbye.